Okay, I don't know if we got everybody here, but we'll go ahead and start. I just wanting to go with the trial docket for the 25th. Only going to be a 3-day trial week, unless I can find a visiting judge to take Thursday and Friday. The DA's office advises me that they have one for sure going. That's a couple of day trial that will pick a jury on Monday morning. If we have anything that will take 2 days on the civil docket, then I'll see about getting a visiting judge to come in and pick a jury on Monday morning, then try the case on Thursday and Friday. Just a second. As most of you know, I sit in 3 different counties, so their number of jury trials are pretty limited. Right now, for the rest of this year, we have a jury trial week on September the 26th, November the 7th. And I don't have a court reporter today. I don't intend to take any testimony or anything. She's working on some transcripts. But I am recording this to Zoom, and it's on YouTube right now, but that will be deleted after the hearing or the meeting, whatever this is. I've rearranged next year's docket to give me a couple of extra times in San Jacinto County. I sort of robbed a couple of jury trial weeks from Trinity County because we don't have that much over here like they have in Polk and San Jacinto County. So these are right now, it hasn't been finalized, but are the current jury weeks for 2023 in San Jacinto County. January the 17th, March the 27th, May the 15th, July the 10th, July the 31st, August the 28th, October the 23rd, and November the 13th. I think this current docket that was sent out a few days ago, I think it's set up by the age of the cases, if I'm not mistaken. And the oldest case we have on this docket is Daniel Beebe versus Universal Cable Holdings. Who is the attorney here on that? Mr. Gibson, Mr. Rotenberry. Okay. Anybody here on Clifford Cassidy versus Monty Graham?
Yes, Your Honor. James Manley for the plaintiffs, Clifford Cassidy and Monty Cassidy.
And Judge Ben Revere here for the defendant.
Who?
Me, Judge Ben Revere.
Okay. Where is this case at as far as being ready to go to trial?
I think it's substantially, discovery has been substantially completed, Your Honor. It's probably trial ready. I did receive a vacation letter that was filed by Mr. Dresden with Mr. Revere's law firm. So it was my understanding he was going to exercise his vacation for the trial week.
And Mr. Manley's correct in that, Judge. I'm actually here for Dennis Dresden. Dennis is the attorney of record on this one. Actually, he's filed a motion to designate lead counsel on this one because the lawyer that was previously lead counsel passed away. I don't think the court has signed that order yet, but Mr. Dresden is going to be the one handling this one. And he does have vacation letters on file for the week of the 25th and the week of the 1st, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Manley, has this case been to mediation?
Yes, Your Honor, it has. It
Okay.
did not settle. Then GEICO was brought in on an underinsured motorist claim. That's been settled. So we just have the remaining claim as a liability claim against Mr. Graham. So one of the defendants has been disposed of, and that's GEICO.
Okay.
Not not at mediation, subsequent to
Okay.
mediation.
So I can reset that one to the Mr. Manley, September 26th of this year, November the 7th. There's no guarantee it'll be reached because, again, everything's subject to the criminal docket.
Right, I understand, Your Honor. Let's go with the November trial setting. Ben, is that okay?
That should be okay. I will tell you, Dennis's daughter is getting married. I'm not exactly sure when that's supposed to happen. I know it's supposed to happen sometime in the fall. But I'll let Dennis know that we're looking at November the 7th.
Okay, and if not, then we've got those 8 days, 8 trials next week, next year. Did you write those down?
Yes, Your Honor, I did write them down, and
okay.
Maybe I'll get with Dennis and we can agree on one of those weeks and get back to you if that's okay with you. Before I
That's
say
fine.
November.
You know, San Jacinto County, that because it's just a 3 assistant DA office, they don't they handle misdemeanors and felonies. It's hard for them to get ready for more than 1 jury trial at a time or for a week. So want to try to get back to picking 2 juries on the Monday, the criminal in the morning, the civil in the afternoon, and then start usually Thursday and Friday, 2 days on the civil if it can be done on that. And sometimes, as y'all know, you're experienced attorneys, sometimes having the courthouse doors open gets rid of lawsuits before a jury gets to it. That works very well in the criminal prosecutions as well. So we'll tentatively put that on the November 7th docket. Is there anybody here yet on BB versus Universal Cables? Next, I have Billy Launderet versus Energy Transfer Partners. So at this point, y'all are number 1 on the civil docket.
Your Honor, this is Alma Aguirre and Steve Grubbs for the defense.
Okay.
Couple of issues. We've anticipated this is a 3 to 4 day trial. And then Mr. Grubbs, the judge might remember that we substituted in last week for new trial counsel. And unfortunately, Mr. Grubbs had a prior vacation letter on file. And almost all the counties we have cases in, actually all the counties, but we didn't have one in San Jacinto County prior to this. So it wasn't on file. We sent it to your court coordinator per her request earlier this week. May have been last week. And that's the status, but as of right now.
And
Judge,
Ms. Aguirre characterized it as unfortunate. I'm not sure it's unfortunate. My wife would strangle me if I called it that, Judge.
And Judge, I am madder than a hornet. I know Mr. Grubbs. I know this firm. This is not how they normally operate. But for whatever reason, this is as hen house as I have ever seen it happen. Last week, we get noticed at 7:09 at night for a hearing the next morning at 9:30 at the courthouse. Ms. Aguirre apologizes and says, oh, that stuff won't happen again. Then they substitute in saying not justice will be delayed so we can get this case tried, because she calls and tells me we're trial counsel. We're going to try this case. And the very next day they file some bullshit vacation letter that they knew dadgum good and well wasn't timely filed. And all they did was get in here because they've tried to send discovery, although the discovery period's long gone in this case. And it is just not fair to our client. It's not fair. If they knew he had a vacation letter when they hired on, if you didn't want to go on vacation, then don't hire on this case. Let the lawyer that was doing it just fine job beforehand try the case. If this insurance company wants these 2 lawyers, then they can pay for his vacation at a later time. This is just horse hockey.
Ben.
I would tell you how I feel, Judge, but I'm not going to.
Mr. Rush, you and I have worked together several times. We've never had these sort of words together. In fact, I recall a bunch of times you and I worked just fine together. So I'm
Steve,
going
I
to chalk
said
this
that.
one up to you're having a bad day, but look, you're a good guy. We've always worked together just fine. This isn't on purpose, Benny. You know how this works. We're all people that live in the same pond and do this. Didn't sound like we're going to get called anyway. We got a 4-day trial. We don't have much time left. Benny, I'm just asking you to do the humane thing. We got called in. We don't have any call over that. We get a call from a client that says, hey, I need you to step in. These other guys are stepping out. We need you to jump in. So we did. I don't have any cases in San Jacinto right now. So that's how it works sometimes. You know how this goes. I'd do the same for you. So Judge, with all due respect, Mr. Rush and I generally work really well together. I'm not sure why he waited until right now to have this meltdown. He didn't call me, didn't send me a letter and say, hey, didn't pick up the phone and say, hey, Steve, what do you think? Any chance we could work this out? Maybe figure out a workaround of vacation letter? No, Mr. Rush decided he was going to take this opportunity to grandstand in front of you, Judge. So Benny, you're better than that. We can all agree that this is uncalled for. We all live in the same pond. We all take vacations. We all do this together. It's a small world, Benny, and we've always worked together. So, Judge, I would just say there's no malicious intent here. It's what happens. We go to trial. We try cases, but we also take vacations with our family. I got 4 kids. So
and
that's
Judge, just for the record, I started my conversation that I know this firm and I know Mr. Grubbs, and I have never had a problem. But for whatever reason, this case started off on a bad foot. And after that hearing, Alma said, well, I'll call you later when I get back to office. I have yet to get that phone call because we could have addressed this then. But I hadn't got that phone call either.
I don't have anything else to add, Judge. That's just the way it goes sometimes in this business. Unfortunately, it's not, it's not anything we do on purpose, but we all have families. This is our day job, but we all know it's not our only job. We go home every day. We take care of our kids, take care of our wives, take care of our families. And this is one of those things.
And I'm not fussing at you, Steve, for going on vacation.
Judge, can I speak also?
No.
No, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Lee.
Well, and I've never met Mr. Grubbs. I've known his father for many years. So I will enjoy this trial with his with Tom Grubbs' son. But nevertheless, aside from everything, I have to agree totally with Benny. I've been with this case from day one. Miss Landriol, I think we filed suit years ago. The accident was several years ago. She had surgery. The company has offered nothing for the most part. We went to mediation. We tried to resolve it. So my client is excited. I've told her that we're going to trial. Last week, we get that last notice at the last second that Benny refers to. And so then suddenly we get these vacation letters. I know that Mr. Grubbs' office, I think they practice in Harris County. I actually went online and looked at vacation letters for Mr. Grubbs, and I might be wrong, but I don't see one that covers this period of this trial setting. So normally, me being a Harris County lawyer here, if I have vacation letters, I file in the Harris County where I practice. And then if I want to go peripherally out to different counties, then I'll let them know I have those. But I frankly don't even see any vacation letters in Harris County. And aside from, even if there were, Ms. Landriol has waited for years, and this flipping of attorneys at the last second, it looks to me that it was designed just to get a continuance, and which is shown by the documents they filed where they wanted a new DCO and a new continuance. So we're ready to go to trial, Judge.
Your Honor, if I may, the court will remember to the extent we asked for new pretrial deadlines, yes, I filed the motion for continuance. That was part of the motion for continuance. The court, in its discretion, denied that. So there are no pretrial deadlines right now. They've all passed. Insofar as the continuing discovery that Mr. Rush refers to, it is one deposition upon written questions in connection with a 911 call that counsel produced. We're not seeking new documents. This is just in order to avoid any challenges to the authenticity or the admissibility of that 911 recording. So this isn't trial by ambush. We're not asking for discovery on new issues. This is something that's been on the record for a long time. It is not anything counsel is unaware of. And insofar as a vacation letter, Mr. Grubbs has spoken to that. But my biggest concern really is if the court only has a 3-day trial docket with a criminal case ahead of us, and this is a 3 to 4 day trial, I don't see how we could possibly fit it in with the time the court has left.
Well, the reason I have a Thursday and Friday conflict is going to a mental health judicial seminar in El Paso. If I have to pass up going and getting some education on mental health issues in Texas, I can sit here and try the case for the rest of the week. So that's not an overriding problem. You know, sitting on cases comes before edification of my mental state, at least knowledge-wise. So I'm going to leave this as number 1 on the trial docket. Y'all have almost 2 weeks to get ready. There's probably an 80% chance that the criminal case will settle by plea bargain agreement. It is not to this point. And it's also possible that person's going to plead to the court on punishment, but I don't know that yet, and I won't know that until the 25th. So I would say there's probably a 70% chance that this case will go. And if it takes more than 3 days to present the case, it'll take more than 3 days to present the case. So at this point, that'll be the number 1 civil case. If y'all can exchange limiting motions, exchange proposed charges. I don't know anything about this case is about. It looks like there's minor versus whatever Energy Transfer Partners is. I'll have to.
Energy Transfer is our client, Your Honor. Can we get a deadline on that pretrial exchange so we don't have to argue about it later?
Sure. Wednesday. July 20,
Thank you, Your Honor.
5 p.m. So y'all take care of all that. And we'll see if we can't get this one off the docket. We'll see what happens.
I appreciate
Okay.
it, Your Honor.
Next, we have,
Thank
no
you,
problem.
Judge.
Are we good,
Um,
Judge?
You can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Miss Shannon Lane, James Newsome. Right now, you're moving up to number 2. Are you ready to go to trial on this case?
Yes, sir.
We are.
Okay. Ms. Hughes, who do you represent?
The plaintiffs, Kenneth and Tina Johnson.
You're with Miss Lane?
Yes, Your Honor.
With Mr. Lane? Okay. This says estimate of 5 days. Is that still accurate?
I wouldn't think it would take longer than 3 at the most. I don't know where the 5 days came from, but maybe Mr. Newsom has a different idea.
No, actually, Your Honor, I'd agree with that. I'd say probably 2 to 3.
Okay. Okay, who else is here on the case besides Mr. Newsom, Ms. Hughes? Okay. Is there any pending discovery, anything of that nature that needs to be looked into? This has been on the
Nope.
docket quite a while too.
No. Oh, there are some pending motions you haven't ruled on yet, Your Honor, including a motion for summary judgment.
Okay. I'll look back at it this week. Other than that, will y'all be ready to go if you need to on the 25th?
Yes, sir.
We will.
Okay, let's use the same date of 7/20 to exchange any last supplementations or anything. And motions eliminate and proposed charges, exchange those, and we'll look at those on the 25th. I don't need to see them before then. Okay.
Yes, sir. What time do you want us there on the 25th if we get called?
8:30.
Yes, sir.
Because we won't have a court hearing until then. If you can just stay in touch with my office, and we should hopefully know something towards the end of next week as far as what's happened to the criminal case. Okay. The next case we have is Hunter Kelsey versus LeCompte.
Morning,
No,
Your
I
Honor.
didn't-
I beg the court's pardon for interrupting. May we be excused, Your Honor?
Sure, yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Judge. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
okay. On the Hunter Kelsey case,
Yes.
who's here on that?
Brian Bellamy for the plaintiff.
Okay,
Your Honor, this is a simple delinquent tax case. It'll take 5 minutes to prove up.
no one's asked for a jury trial?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
I anticipate that intervener San Patricio County is going to be signing our agreed judgment. It's just a simple prove up.
okay. Do you want to do it on that day? Or do you want to come back on a different date when we don't have juries coming in and out?
We can do it anytime the court is ready. I assume it's going to be in person, Your Honor, for that hearing.
Yeah, but it need to be. How about August the 3rd or August the 5th?
August 3rd would be perfect, Your Honor. Would that also be at 8:30?
No, we'll put that at 11,
Okay.
unless you want to come earlier in the day. You're coming up out of Houston,
Austin.
Austin? Well, why don't we say 1:30?
Oh, that's even better, Your Honor. Thank you.
You just sort of cruise down through the hill country into the hot east country.
That's not much cooler here, Your Honor.
Okay,
I will file
Okay.
a notice of trial and send it out to everyone.
okay, very good.
Thank you.
Raul Garcia versus Calvin Doyle. Sharif
For
and
the defendant,
Sprague.
Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Mr.
Obed
Sharif.
Sharif on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Okay. And do you want to stay as a number 3? You want me to go ahead and move you to a later jury docket? Has this case been to mediation?
No, Your Honor. Actually, me and counsel conferred just yesterday. We're gonna try and work and see if we can get a resolution to it without prior to trial. So I think the next setting would be beneficial.
Okay, I'll set it to the 9/26 trial docket. And do you want to come in for a pretrial before then?
I don't believe that's necessary in this case. What do you
Okay.
think, Michael?
Yes, I agree, Judge. It's a 2-day case, simple auto wreck case. It shouldn't take a lot of pretrial.
Okay. Well, we'll wait and see how the 26 shows up. Just to be safe, I'm going to put a 9/21 pretrial at y'all out of Houston.
Yes, sir.
Or at 11 o'clock. If you get it settled, we won't need to do that. If we don't have any need for a pretrial, we can look at that, and we'll just have to let you know where you've moved up on the jury trial docket, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. And is that in person or is that remote?
21 will probably be in person. We'll wait and see.
Understand.
Trying to wean ourselves off of Zoom.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. 9/21 at 11 and 9/26 on the trial docket, and then y'all try Do you need the court to order a mediator or?
Judge, I think because it's a small case, that might actually impede the settlement. The extra couple $100 might make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me know.
All right,
Do
Judge, thank
something
you.
different.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor. May
You're
we dismiss?
excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Judge.
AFMS Group versus Haltom.
Yes, Your Honor. Pat Primavera for Certapro, the plaintiff.
Okay. And I
Malcolm
see
Deshawn
Ms.
here for the defendants, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. How are we in this case? It didn't say a note, an estimate of time.
Your Honor, I'll defer to Malcolm, but I'm thinking a day and a half, maybe two.
I would agree with that, Your Honor.
We've mediated the case unsuccessful at mediation a couple weeks ago. So I think it's probably one that's going to go to trial. My question for the court would be, Your Honor, if you move us to September 26th, do we have a better chance of going as opposed to you leaving us number 3 or 4 on this docket?
I would say there's an outside chance of this case going. Although I don't know the one with Shannon Lang, I don't see that settling. So, possibly for your scheduling, might be wise to go ahead and move it to the 26th or the 7th of November, so that you're not on the hook for the next 2 weeks in case you got pushed to trial.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's with the court's permission, then I would ask that you reset us to September 26th.
Your
Okay.
Honor, that date would be fine with me as well.
And the pretrial for 9/21. And if we don't need, well, you'll either be 3 or 2. You'll be 2 or 3 probably, the way this is looking.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay, great. Yes, sir.
thank you so
And
much,
so
Your Honor.
21st at 11 for a pretrial. And again, if we don't need one, if you can both send an email or a letter to my office, letting them know that you don't need a pretrial on the 21st, then I won't expect to have you here on the 21st.
I think that'll probably be the case, Your Honor, but I'll get with Pat about that.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I don't have anybody from Jefferson Capital. I don't have anybody from Graceland Properties.